princess gets upstaged or even outranked. But that's exactly what happens when the passengers of this luxury charter yacht, the Princess Emma, are none other than former beauty queen Anneline Kriel and her family. So I suppose for just today, you could quite comfortably call this a royal barge.
Now that he's retired as CEO of Sun International, Anneline's husband, Peter Bacon, has more time to enjoy the top-end yacht and charter business he co-owns. The 25-metre stunner arrived from the south of France in May last year.
But so as far as yachts go, this one's quite the beauty itself.
Very, very luxurious. Big cabins, all with ensuite bathrooms, showers, everything you could possibly need. Probably up there with the best hotels, really.
Cinch is in the portfolio of a man who, for many years, has overseen some of the finest hotels in South Africa, Mauritius and beyond. You'd expect nothing less. Aimed mostly at the foreign tourism market, Princess Emma's also become the last word in corporate entertainment. Today, however, she was ours, and the ideal getaway for catching up with Mr. Bacon's famous wife.
You were only 19 when you won the Miss World title back in 1974. That must have been incredibly exciting for a young girl from Witbank.
Yeah, it was. It was a great experience. You know, today when I look back on it, I really appreciate it so much more. At that time, it was like life was taking its own course and it was just happening to me.
Now, that was back in the apartheid era. How did that affect your reign and how were you received internationally?
Well, it was severely affected because usually the Miss World go to America, go to Australia, go to Canada, and those countries didn't want a South African girl. But it also, in a strange way, opened other doors. I ended up going to France and Paris and started modeling. And I would have never done that if I could have gone to all these countries. So I started a modeling career. I worked in Italy for 5 years, in New York for almost 2 years. So, you know, it's like they say, if one door closes, another one opens.
What Bond was to film and Kojak to television, Anneline was to every kind of media in this country.
Why do you think it is that you had such an incredible impact on South Africans?
Well, I've got to tell you that in 1974 is when television came into being into South Africa. And I was on television quite often. And I remember my dad, you know, we didn't have a television. So when he heard that I was on television, he would go down to the local furniture store. And they used to have the televisions in the window. And he would say to all of the people that were standing there watching with him, "That's my daughter."
Having raised 3 daughters from his first marriage, when Peter married Anneline, he was well prepared to help raise her 2 daughters. He's also added his 20 cents worth in the kitchen.
A rumor has it that Anneline is quite the chef.
She's become one. I mean, cooking is one of my passions. I mean, I'm a hotelier by profession and obviously having spent a few years at hotel school. But she has developed into a fine cook, I must say.
As Chef finished preparing lunch, it was remarkable to think that Witney, 17, and Tayla, 18, are very near the age their mum was when she was crowned.
We know a certain Anneline, but for you she's a different person. She's your mom. What do you feel when you look back at all the stuff she's done?
Well, obviously that she has like accomplished a lot and everything, but you look back and you see all those pictures, but you still like see your mom in them. So it's hard to like think about her as anyone else besides like our mom. It's hard to think that she
it's
was...
not like we've had another mom to compare her to.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about following in her footsteps?
Not
really.
Not as Miss World, but I like acting, so I would want to do that.
Biodiversity student Tayla took the opportunity of our visit to the Kommetjie Lighthouse to explore the ecology, while as chairman of the NSRI, Peter was in his element getting a guided tour.
Peter, I understand this is one of the tallest lighthouses in South Africa.
Okay, you're quite right. It is the tallest in South Africa. It's 34 meters high. It was actually made over in Birmingham in England and sent out to South Africa by ship in 270 cast iron plates.
How does the contraption work?
Well, basically the lens weighs 7 tons. It rotates in about 450 kilograms of mercury. It has to provide the ships with a position, latitude and longitude. So the lens is actually controls the light into 4 separate beams every 30 seconds. It has a range of 66 kilometers, and the strength of the light is equivalent to 16 million candle power.
Peter and I share a common cause, and that is saving lives at sea. So I know that all the lighthouses around the coast of South Africa work very closely with the National Ports Authority and the National Sea Rescue Institute.
Despite many offers, Anneline has signed off on her modelling career to play mum, manage the family's properties, and to join her husband and his shadow Nelson on their regular evening strolls.
Definitely a serious contender for the 2010 World Cup.
I think it'll be a good mascot.
I think every woman, every girl in South Africa is asking the same question because you still look as gorgeous as ever.
Thank you.
What is your beauty secret?
Well, my beauty secret is really, just to be as natural as possible. For me, that works, and that's important to me. And also, I think to live a healthy life is very important, I think beauty comes from within, even outside beauty, a beautiful skin and all of that is what you put into your body.
Still very involved in tourism, from yachts to wine routes to seaside hideaways, they'll soon be taking some of their own medicine.
You've both achieved so much, each in your own right, and as a couple together. What remains for the future?
My daughter will be a matric, my youngest, and after that, my dream is to travel, for both of us, and see places that we haven't seen. I'd love to go to the North Pole and the South Pole.
It seems like you have your work cut out for you.
Having known each other since the 70s, they're great friends as much as husband and wife. And increasingly, it's the simple pleasures they care for. Anneline's cooking, her lamb especially, weekend games of Scrabble, a